Very good evening, all.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, Bharat, very good evening. So,
Good
yesterday,
evening, sir.
good evening, Priyanka. So, the last evening we couldn't have a session because, unfortunately, I got stuck in rain. Right. So, people who reside in Hyderabad, right? So, they would have known how bad it was the last evening from around 4:30 or 5. It was literally a downpour. The moment I stepped out of my office after log out, I took my vehicle and I'm on road. I was about to take U-turn. It was a slight drizzle. Still, it was a bit cloudy. I thought that, within no time I'll be reaching my home. So after taking U-turn near my office, and it's hardly a minute of driving, it was like, all of a sudden someone has poured a bucket of water on me. It was all of a sudden heavy rain and I was having no place to hide myself. And later on, moving forward, I just found a metro near Kukatpally. So no sooner I saw a place to stand, I locked my vehicle and I took all my belongings, kept in the vehicle's boot space, and I ran to the metro station. So they waiting. I spent more than an hour. By the time I left metro station, it was around 7:10 or 7:30. It was so bad yesterday, and even today also the climate is bit same. But thankfully, our police department people, they have had a good, good. I mean, they have found a way to clear the traffic in the evening times due to these trains, and it was very free for me to travel back. Yesterday, it was after the rain got, bit less. It was very difficult for me to cross one signal. So I hope who are working professionals, you would have faced the same issue the last time, but thankfully today it is better in the evening times. And once again, people are stepping out of your office to work. Just be very careful. House, people like people who stay inside of the house, not going out for too much, right? So it's better that you stay back. Only one person from house, let them go. Whatever you want, let them bring in. Of course, we bring everything at a time so that you cannot step out of your house very frequently, and all the time whenever you're having free time, all your electronic devices, laptops, phones, and whatever it is, have it charged full. And if it is too much raining in your area, right, so whoever is going out to bring groceries and all, ask them to bring some sort of consumable items which you can prepare within 5 to 10 minutes, like toast, bread omelette, any sort of a snack, because early morning getting up in this climate, people don't feel like to work, to at home, especially housewives, I mean to say, right? So they don't feel like cooking, getting into the kitchen. So it's better that if we are having some sort of items which you can have for a breakfast in the morning times. Okay. So this I just wanted to share about yesterday and today. And once again, a very good evening all. So today our topic is going to be very small. It's greetings and introduction. Introduction in the sense not how we had in the first session. Okay, so today we are going to learn how to greet, how to welcome, how to introduce ourselves, what sort of formal and informal greetings and introductions are there. Though the topic is very easy, maybe you would know what we do in greetings and introduction, but as I am having many of yours professional workers, right? So I thought of starting from the basics, which we all know, but just, it's kind of brushing up our routine skills. Like we greet and introduce, like every other, but just to be different, just to enhance our way of speaking, I've chosen this topic. So, in those who have joined in the first day of session, right? So they would have known like the first 5 sessions are of kind of demos, which no topic will be taught in depth, right? So basics will be taught, and whoever gets registered, right? So on the 6th day, full-fledged topics will be taught, all the grammar part, role plays, activities, home assignments. You will be involved in each and every session. Your involvement will be there, where you are going to show at least a progress each and every day goes by. Okay. So for this, the same thing that I keep on saying from the beginning, if you are getting a chance to speak, don't hesitate. Okay. Whatever it is asked, if you know the answer, just say it. Whether it is right or wrong, that's a different path. Okay. You need to overcome your comfort zone. Don't ever restrict yourself from speaking, because nobody is giving you a chance to speak once you are on the floor. That means in your workplace. Only when the situation comes, for sure, you need to talk. Then at that point of time, if you go blank or if you stammer, right? If you're not having enough words to express your feelings, then it will be very awkward situation. And yes, we feel so embarrassed, whether it is talking in front of our colleagues, in front of our team, or with friends. So never ever give a chance for you to embarrass yourself. Small communication, the generic communication where you can speak and others can understand and can reply back. Right. So before I start, I just want to understand, like, have you guys started any of your speaking practices at your convenient time, or at your home, or at your workplace? Have you started any sort of practice? It's not mandatory, but yes, if you are really insisting yourself to show some progress in your speaking and in your English skills, definitely there should be some sort of practices that you should have done. People who have done it or doing it, they can freely say it. If you are not, that answer is also acceptable. I don't mind.
Yes.
Yes, but have started or
Yeah, daily we communicate with people to English only, right?
at your workplace?
Yeah.
Okay. And what are the practices apart from speaking?
Um, no, not started practice as such, but I started talking to my kid with English.
Okay. So whatever the comfort time that you're getting, you're
Mhm.
utilizing it.
Yes.
Great. Any others? Nobody has started. Okay. Fine. Let me share my screen. So before I begin the topic, again, I just want to say, like, don't ever take this topic, sure, it is very easy. I mean, it is very easy for us to know, we already know it, but yes, when it comes to learning, we need to understand each and everything right from the beginning. If you already know it, well and good. We are going to enhance, or we are going to learn more and more, right? So let me share my screen. I hope you people are able to see it.
Yes, Navin.
Great. Mm, right. Mm, Yes. So once again, I welcome you all for today's session, which is day 3. Yes, Karthik?
Hi, Navin.
Yeah, hi, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yep.
With this course introduction is there, no? Course content. We
Mm-hmm.
can able to clear the English exams like PT, IELTS or anything.
No, I did not get it.
By the course content, while you
Mm-hmm.
are shared the course content, we can
Okay.
able to clear the exams like GRE, IELTS, like anything we can able to
No,
clear
for
with the.
that, the English that I will be teaching is only kind of 50% of the communication that you will be getting here. because
Okay.
for the especially the language tests, right? So we
Yes.
need a lot of vocabulary rather than grammar. You need to focus on the phrases, idioms, and antonyms and synonyms. They play a key role, right? Because
Okay.
the present work which I do, I work in IDP, which is co-owner of IELTS in our country.
Okay.
Right? So here I do have materials, and I've gone through all the materials provided by IDP. And also, as my career is into teaching, right? So for IELTS, PT, TOEFL, Duolingo, GRE, whatever the English language test that you're going to prepare, if it is work, like, if you're planning to work in abroad, yes, the English that we learn here, that is more than enough. But if you're planning to pursue your studies for
Yes.
academic purpose, you need to be, so perfect in English that not expecting a advanced or, hi-fi English or fancy English, but yes, your vocabulary. I mean, this language test, basically it is conducted on the basis of these 4 fundamental skills, LSRW, right? So in
Yes.
each and every component, you should be very perfect, because speaking is something which is conducted by an examiner. You need to speak to the person in English. Either you will be given a topic, or you will be asked to speak on a topic,
Okay.
right? So writing passage will be given, like, you need to read and comprehend your feelings. Like, after reading a passage, you need to able to put all your answers in a proper structured manner. That is all about reading. Writing, whereas if you see, if a data is given to you, how you are going to put your thoughts in form of writing. Basic English will not really help us to, to crack this language test. But whereas for us to improve ourselves in day-to-day life, it is very sufficient,
Okay.
right?
Yeah,
So it is a
understand.
bit
Yeah.
tough to, you know, if the group that I'm having here, if everybody is for one purpose, like, planning to go abroad for studies, the teaching would have been different, because here we have a mixed group of people, right? So
Yes.
everybody's needs should be focused, whereas for a trainer, and I need to be very particular about each and every individual. So that is where the teaching part comes out.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So greetings and introduction. So basically, in both the components, we have formal and informal, but each and every aspect depends upon the relationship that we are having with the opposite person. That means how close is the person, or we just know them for the sake of, for the sake of friendship, like hi means hi, bye means bye, right? So very limited communication is there between us and the opposite person, right? Depending upon the closeness, depending upon the context of relationship between us and the opposite person, the greetings and our introduction, it keeps on changing, right? So first, let us see what exactly the greetings is. So if anybody can read it out for me. Anybody who can read out?
Yeah, greetings are verbal and non-verbal expressions used to acknowledge someone's presence
Mhm.
to
Uh, your voice
others.
is, we are
Greetings
losing
can
your
level
voice
of
in
formality
between,
given in the context.
Bharat.
Okay, is it fine now?
Yeah, it's good now.
Yeah. Common greetings include hello, hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and so on. Greetings can be used in both casual and formal settings and are often the first step in the initial conversation.
Exactly. Right. So it doesn't matter if
Mm.
you're talking to your boss, talking to your colleague, to your house people, or to your friends, or to your best friend. Right. So the way we start talking to them is through greetings. Right. So sometimes coming into native part, right, being a very native of our locality, greetings are less used. To be honest, we call them with the nicknames, that is called name calling. So if the person is very close to us, or if it is a childhood friend, right? So we have sort of nicknames between us and the friends, right? So we call them by their nicknames. This is in terms of where we are considering that, in our locality, the place where we reside, right? But in generic, our communication with the opposite person starts with basic greetings, right? So good morning, good evening, we say it according to the time, and hi, hello to the casual, to build up a casual conversation, right? But trust, this is the best way to initiate a conversation, right? So whenever you're working in your place and there is a new employee in your team or in your office, directly you can't go to the person and ask questions, right? So it happened with us as well. Whenever we hit up to a new office, some of the other person will come to us with the greetings and they start asking questions. That means they introduce themselves, right? So it happens for the first phase of the work, getting a job, which is the interview, right? HR, even if they are in a very bad mood, they should ask, because it is their part of roles and responsibilities. They need to greet the interviewer. So then only the communication, that means the process of interview begins, right? So in the very same way, whenever you go to your work, right? So it doesn't matter if it's work or something else, but if you see your, close friends or near or dear ones, just greet them. Just a minute of talk will do. If you are a bit hurry to, to catch up your bus or to show up to your office, just a minute talk, less than 30 seconds of talk. Yes, just a warm greetings to your beloved ones. Yes, you will start your day with such a good positive vibes. Okay, so greetings, they play a major role in initiating your pleasant and good, decent conversation. So all the time, have a practice of greeting with a warm smile. Right. Introduction. Apart from Bharat, I want someone else to read. Do not worry if you're thinking that you might fumble in between, or else you might not pronounce the words. We are here to to push you a little. So take a chance.
Shall I?
Namit.
Is it Rohit or Ashwini?
Ashwini.
Rohit. Okay, go ahead, Ashwini. No issues.
An introduction is the formal act of presenting yourself or someone else to others. It serves to provide essential information about the person being introduced, such as their name, designation, and possibly some additional details that help establish their identity or role in a specific context. Introduction are
Crucial.
critical in professional setting, networking events, or social gatherings, other situations where people may be unfamiliar with each other. Proper introduction.
Ashwini, I'm sorry, but there is a lot of background noise from your end.
No, no, sir. Not from my side.
Okay, just a second. Yeah, now it's clear.
Create a positive impression and facilitate the communication between individuals or groups.
Yes. Thank you, Ashwini. So before we discuss about it, so have you ever introduced yourself, or have you been introduced by any others? Whether it is, kind of introducing new friends, or on a stage, or in team meeting, or whenever you have joined a company, right? So anytime it happened?
Yes, it has happened in interviews or anything.
Good. So this introduction is basically like, kind of comparing to greetings, right? So it happens in a very casual way, But when it comes to introduction, it is much more than greetings. We do it in a very formal and polite way. Okay, so introduction can be about ourselves, or introducing our team, or telling about the company, or telling about the person who has joined our team, right? Or it could be two different people introducing themselves who never met, right? So depending upon the scenarios, this introduction follows some additional details. Okay, so let's say that a project manager has been appointed, new project manager, right? So everybody will be getting an email. So dear colleagues, I am very pleased to inform that Mr. XYZ, who has worked for ABC company and having more than 15 years of experience in this marketing and sales, please welcome Mr. XYZ to our team, right? So different sort of scenarios catches up different sort of introductions. Okay, so it could be like you're introducing your relative to your friend. I mean, it happens when we were young, right? So when relatives shows up, our relatives, especially boys who are of our age, right? So we take them out to our local friends and we introduce them, right? So this is my best friend. So he is my cousin. He is my cousin brother. Like that, we introduce our friends and dear ones. But whereas this introduction that we're discussing now, it is more and more formal. It should be very polite, right? And it should be very formal greetings and introduction. So remember, in both greetings and introduction, it is essential for us to understand the level of formality. That means the relationship, the closeness that we are having with the opposite person. It could be person or persons, right? A warm and polite, respectful greeting should always be given if you're practicing it. Whereas your voice, that means the tone should be very interactive. Okay, because you cannot say in a very straight and hard manner, yes, this is Naveen. No, it is not acceptable. If we are doing like that, the opposite person may not, excuse me, sorry. So the opposite person may not feel interested to have a conversation. Moreover, I make myself embarrassed. I can, that impression which I leave because of my tone, it will be spreading everywhere. Nobody tends to talk to me if I'm being very straight and hard. Okay, so our tone should vary and our tone should be very pleasant when we are speaking out, especially when we greet and we introduce. Our tone should be very smooth, right? So for a perfect example, let's take an example of alliances, like, means match fixing between a girl and a boy. First, the boy's family, they visit the girls, right? So when the moment they enter into the house, the way the girls side people they greet and welcome, how they do it with such respect and manners. They have that smile all the time on their face, and the tone will be very pleasant. Be it the discussion happens in each and every aspect, and it would be a lengthy discussion, right? So in particular manner, we should have our tone following intonations. That means ups and downs. It is not something which is a bad term, but whenever we are speaking, right, our voice should follow particular intonations wherein we are it should give an expression to the opposite person that we are literally expressing our feelings, our thoughts, our opinions. You cannot say like something bad with a happy voice. Yesterday I saw an accident, one fellow died. We cannot say like this, right? So in real, if you feel if you feel the situation, If you are expressing about what you have seen to your friend, obviously your tone will come down. You will feel bad for that accident, right? So you need to own that sort of intonations whenever you're speaking. Okay. So let's see what are the greetings. First in greetings, it is formal type, which is the first greetings of the day according to the time, right? So till 12 we say morning. So that means till 11:59 in the morning, it's good morning. Till 4 it is PM. After 4 it is, wait, AM, PM, that's it. Yes, I'm sorry. I got confused, right? So till 11:59 it is AM. That means morning. Okay. 12 to 3:59 it is noon, afternoon. 4 to till 11:59 in the evening, which is PM, we say it as evening. Okay. So guys, remember, if you're meeting your friend, or if you're getting a call from your office, which is 10:30 in the evening, how do you wish? Do you say good night or good evening? We say good evening, right? So later, after 6 or 7:30, if you're speaking or if you're initiating a communication, the wishes should be good evening. While ending up a call, it should be good night. Okay. With your friends also, it is applicable. Let's say that, all friends have met outside, which is 8:30 or 9 in the evening. Wish each and everyone a good evening. When you depart, when you're coming back to your home, or when you're thinking to disperse there, we'll say good night. But basically we have a habit of saying bye or goodbye, right? Even that is also acceptable, but as we are discussing greetings, so once we end up a conversation, we say good night in the evening times, right? So goodbye, like, yes, I remember something kind of a fact. Yes. So can anybody say what exactly the goodbye means? It is not the, which is from the very old times that people use goodbye, but there is a purposeful meaning to say goodbye. It is very short form actually. Does anybody know?
No.
Right. So in before
I
saying it as
think
goodbye,
farewell
yeah,
we say goodbye, right? I think.
yeah, sometimes in Pharaoh also we say,
Hmm.
but basically this goodbye, the short form was, derived when people used to say good be with you. I mean,
Okay.
before people started to use goodbye, they used to say good be with you, which is the actual meaning of goodbye. But
Okay.
people who are in
We could
relations and all,
change the
they
meaning of
feel that
goodbye.
yes,
Yeah,
if
eventually.
someone is saying goodbye, that is the end of the friendship or relationship
Yeah,
forever.
yeah,
But
yeah,
in
yeah.
actual, goodbye is not something which is going to end. That means we are wishing that person that let the good be with you all the time till we meet again. This is the actual purposeful meaning. So this is how we use this. Good morning, Mr. Rao. How are you doing today? This can be used with your friends outside, or with your colleagues, or with your superiors in your workplace. Okay. Next, hello, which is a very formal and neutral greeting. It could be for anyone, whether you are being introduced to a new colleague or to a new friend. We say hello, a neutral greeting, right? So hello everyone, welcome to today's session, right? So like this, we can use it in a very neutral situations. Next is how do you do? And here I would like to tell one thing for each and everyone. Whenever you are meeting a new person, that means in your life, if you have never met the person before, we cannot ask how are you to that person. It is the very first time that you are meeting, right? So we can say nice to meet you, glad to meet you, glad to meet you, or pleasure to meet you. Okay. If you're meeting this person for the very first time, we need to say nice to meet you. We cannot ask how are you doing, but people tend to ask in these days. But basically, manners and etiquette says we shouldn't ask the person. If you see the same person later in the evening time or the other day, then you can ask. But very first time, never ask. Okay. And this, how do you do? Is just a very formal greeting, just to ask the person how far the day was or how far he or she is doing. Okay, but you may say that Naveen, you have written, how do you do? I'm delighted to meet you. Yes, while preparing the content, I missed out. That's what I corrected just now. For the person we are meeting for the very first time, we cannot say it. Okay, and this can be said only if you're meeting the person after long absence. Let's say that your friend has moved to a different region and you're meeting him for after 6 months or an year. Then you can say this, delighted to see you again, not meet you. If it is very, very long absence, yes, we can say meet you again. Okay. So good day basically used in two scenarios. One, instead of saying good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, we can say good day. And also, while leaving off the conversation or ending up the conversation, goodbye, good day. Okay. So basically, using this good day in the day of introduction or, not introduction, greetings, people have stopped it. Okay. So they only say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. But this can also be used. Good day. So when I started my career, when I used to say this, people used to make fun of my greeting. They used to say, sir, we don't like good day biscuits. But actually, good day in the sense like, as we have discussed just now, right, about goodbye.
Now
This
we
is very similar to that as well.
I think now we started saying have a nice day, right?
Yeah. Ending up the conversations, have a nice day, have a beautiful day, or have a pleasant day. And also, if you are leaving our kids or our wives at their workplaces, we say this when we are dropping them off the location, right? So we say this. We can still use it, but if anybody is listening to the very first time about saying this good day, instead of using good morning and all, you can start using it in a daily routine. Because especially when I go for meetings internally or when I speak to my managers over chat and all, I don't wish everybody in this particular good evening and all. Only during classes I use this, but in general, my favorite way of greeting is good day. Even if it is late night around 9 or 10, I still say the same, good day. Only when I'm ending up a conversation, I say good night. Right? So this is okay. Here in this greetings, you can see an introduction in this sort of example. So here the greeting is being said and also the introduction. I'd like to introduce your speaker, Mr. ABC. Right? So greetings. So instead of saying good day, good morning, good evening, even these greetings is also be used, but especially when writing an email. Okay, so you can use this verbally as well, but it depends upon the relationship between you and the opposite person. Let's say that you are having such a close relationship with your superior, let's say HR. Try being very different. Tomorrow if you see your superior, just say greetings. That means the person who is very close to you on and off the work. Okay, so when it comes to professional, the person is very professional. And once the work is done, you both be as a friends, right? So with those persons, just try using these greetings instead of saying good day, good morning, and all. Greetings, okay, which is a formal written greeting as said in email, but we can use it verbally as well, right? So next is informal greetings. So this informal is used with the friends, people are of our age, or with the close acquaintances, right? So a very casual way of greetings. Example, hey Naveen, long time no see. Actually, long time no see is some thing which is technically correct, but grammatically we don't say it. But in movies, even the foreigners, they still use it, but nobody tend to to figure out, is it correct to say long time no see, right? So you can use this hi, which still it is being practiced. Hey, it is bit informal and kind of relaxed greeting, especially used with our very close friends, right? And WhatsApp, people who feel that they are very posh kind of personality, yes, the moment we say hi or hey, they come with they nod their head and say, hey, what's up? Now I don't know what sort of culture that you're practicing. People tend to say bro, even if you know the person outside or not. Hey bro, I don't know what sort of culture we are developing, but wherever we go to or to whomever we meet, we have such a beautiful names, and we should all the time feel very proud. But I sometimes I feel very awkward people who call me bro, my colleagues, right? So in my office I have counselors next to my workplace, so those who are come to talk to me, they say, hi bro, what's up today? I feel like in the my inner feeling would be like, I have this beautiful name, or else you can just say hi. What is this sort of bro thing? And especially being a trainer, I all the time try to make an impression that here I'm not to build up a relations. You're not my sister, you're not my brother, you're not anything to me at my workplace. We are just an employee working for an organization. It's better that we call with our names. That is what the MNC culture is, right? So I don't know why people do it. If you're having a habit of calling bro and all, I don't mean to offend you. You can keep it up yourself, but this is what my personal aspect I just wanted to share, right? So it's a very common and informal way to ask a person how he or she is doing. Hey Mike, what's up? Right? Wanna grab some coffee? So there are a lot of slangs that we will be discussing in the coming sessions, because the phrases that we can use in our daily life. And I'll also try to give you all some idioms in the sense to the sentences which exactly mean what your feeling is. Let's say that an introvert asking for an hike to a manager, to the HR, they're very hesitant and they cannot speak up a single word, but they gulp their saliva inside, like in Telugu I can say it, but in Hindi I'm very bad at speaking Hindi, so please excuse me for that. Like people are very hesitant to ask. For them, we use this idiom, beating around the bush. That means instead of saying the point, they keep on telling unwanted and unnecessary stuff over that. Okay. So let's say that you want to ask
Just a
an
bit.
hike for
Yes.
your. Just a second.
Yes. Yes.
So let's say that I want to ask hike in my salary from a manager. So what I do is I go up to my manager, and rather than coming straight to the point, sir, I just want to ask you about my hike. Rather than saying this, I keep on giving some more the other information which is related to my question about the hike. Like so petrol rates have been increased, or it's becoming very difficult for me to to travel from very long tour ways. But I'm not telling exactly that I want to ask hike, but I'm giving unnecessary talk about that hike, right? So this scenario is called beating around the bush. HR or my manager will say, why are you beating around the bush? Come straight to the point, right? So these sort of idioms I have a lot of, but for you all, I will be trying to comprehend it to very short sort of flyer where it will be helpful for you to use in your daily life. Small idioms along with the meanings and their usages. So it helps you to to be very different from others. Everybody will directly express the situation and the feelings, but if you're using idioms, then you look very different, and your, excuse me, today I don't know why I'm getting too much burps. Okay, so you will look very different comparing to others, and they will feel attracted towards your speaking skills, right? So if we, and another thing, early bird or early bird catches the worm. That means first come, first serve. Whoever is coming first, they'll be getting the benefits. Like, so for this, we can say early bird catches the worm. So like this, there are a lot of idioms that we can practice to our daily life, right? So informal, just a second, went back, right? Yo, this is something which we don't practice, but still, if you are using it very good all the time, keep it very informal, only to your close acquaintances. That means your friends and your dear ones. It's an extremely informal and slang, better we can say, right? So there are a lot of slangs that people use, and a lot of shortcuts, right? So we don't want to use it in our speaking skills. Okay, so this is one of the thing that you all the time should keep in mind. So whenever you're speaking in English, shortcuts and slangs, try avoid once you're very comfortable speaking fluently. Okay, so once you're much more comfort speaking in a very good fluency, then you can start inculcating these slangs. Okay, so for a better comfort, you can use contractions. Contractions in the sense shortcuts of want to. They say wanna, WANNA. I have to go, have go, right? So I like there are a lot of shortcuts. Why all of a sudden I'm skipping off? I wanted to do, I wanna do. I gonna do it. I got to do it. In shortcut, they say I'm gonna do it. Okay, so these sort of slangs you can later add to your speaking, but before that, we need to have a very good comfort where we can speak with ease. That means not stucking up in between, not stopping and thinking about what we wanted to say, or not repeating the same thing again and again just because we forgot it. Okay, so guys, remember, whenever you're skipping something, or if you're forgetting something, don't stop and recollect that thing that I've just now I did, right? So it looks very awkward for us. If you missed it, you just have a flow. If it is an important discussion or conversation, later on you can add it up. Okay, this especially helps if you're giving a sort of presentation, or if you're talking to your teammates or colleagues about the project or about your work. Okay, hey, there is a slightly more formal, you can use it to your colleagues, especially this will be working out only with your colleagues. The moment you enter into your office, if you see your best friend working at his desk, hey there, you can tap him on the shoulder, say hey there, what's up? Or I'll say bro, what's up? Whatever it is convenient for you. Okay, and do remember to speak or answer in full sentences. That really helps us to to have our mouth a constant practice. Okay, so remember the choice of greeting. Where did I go? Yes. So remember, the choice of greeting should match the level of formality. That is what I said in the beginning, right? So depending upon the closeness that you're having with the opposite person, the choice of greeting should be made. Okay, if you're seeing your manager, right, you cannot directly raise up your hand and say, hey manager. No, we can't say that. Even if the manager is very close to us, we only can greet him in a very polite way. Greetings, sir, or good day, sir. Right? So whatever the greetings or introduction that you take up, it should be it should be done in a very positive atmosphere, and it should build a rapport between you and the opposite person, or between your groups. Okay, people should come and talk to you, or people should feel very good talking to you. That is how we need to behave. And the next part is introduction. Okay, so this introduction can be done in many ways, as said in the beginning. So here we see it. The first is self-introduction, introducing ourselves to a team or to a new colleague or in an interview. Okay, so here in this self-introduction, sometimes we give a full picture of ourselves or a limited context. That's it. Excuse me. I'm extremely sorry. Right. So in an interview, you somewhat give, a kind of in detail information about yourself. Whereas if it is, you're giving your introduction in front of your team where you have joined recently, you will be giving a limited piece of information, your name, your designation in the present company, and what were you doing in the last company and what company was it. That's it. Right. So this self-introduction depends. If you want, we can discuss about how to give our self-introduction in the coming days as well, because I have taught many of the graduates when it was their time of the placements, and I made many people ready for the interviews as well. So self-introduction through me, it is very simple. Okay, so in coming class we'll be discussing about it as well. And formal introduction, like introducing one person to another in a more structured and formal manner. Okay, so let's say that I have my relatives today, okay, and I have taken my friend out, or else I've taken my wife to a party meeting. Yeah, my office, they have thrown a party and they have asked all the employees to bring their better half. So I took my wife. So I'll be introducing my manager to my wife. I will say, Rupini, this is my manager XYZ. So this is my wife, Rupini. Right. So this is how I introduce each others. Here, these both are not introducing. Being in middle, I am making these two persons to introduce to each other. Okay. So in a very more formal way, when you take your colleague, if you are from marketing field, you visit your clients, right? So whenever you take your intern or your colleague who is very new, that means you'll be taking him for a walk around of the market work. You go to your client's office and you introduce him as well. Hi sir, how are you? Meet my new colleague, Mr. Prashant. Prashant, he is your regular client. Like this, we will be introducing others, right? So informal introduction. Okay, so this introduction is much more in a relaxed and bit casual manner. Whenever you go for social gatherings or whenever you go for your family functions and all, right? So they, whenever you get your mother, introduce yourself to the relatives who are very far, right? So that is what we call informal introductions. Okay, that means introducing us to a people who are of within our circle, but we never met them. Okay, so next is group introduction, right? So whenever you are working in a team, okay, and you are supposed to give a presentation on the stage to your boss. Okay, so rather than everybody telling their name, one person will take and lead an initiative telling about the entire team. So this is the project done and associated by with these people. Then you will say the names on their behalves. Okay, so this is what we call group introductions. Okay, so as you can read the screen, it is useful for a team in meetings, in workshops, or when hosting visitors. That means if you are getting any clients from abroad, right? So then your manager will be introducing the entire team, right? So that is what we call group introduction. And then next is email introduction, introducing some of yourself through an email, providing a little bit information which is very relevant to the purpose of writing that email. Okay, so email writing, letter writing, everything will be done in the coming classes, but if at all it is necessary, then only the topics will be taught, this email and letter writing, because email writing is very simple. There are a lot of activities for this, and I have a lot of scenarios for you people to write a mock email, right? So everything will be taught, especially putting this letter writing aside. Okay, so this will happen only once we are done with the actual content. Okay, at the end of the sessions, that means if we are about to finish our sessions, the all content, then I will be teaching you all about this email writing, self introduction. Okay, so next introduction is all about speech or presentation, seminars, public speaking, or group discussion, any sort of events where it is done in a group or gatherings, huge gatherings, then that introduction is called as introduction of speech or as a presentation. Okay, so the use of this introduction always bridges between people, establishing communication and relationship. Okay, so this introduction, it always bridges, that means filling up the gaps where we can establish a communication and to build a relationship with the surrounded people. Okay, for introduction also, it is very mandatory for us to choose the right introduction. Okay, so if you are on a stage, let's say that you've done your project in office and your boss is asking you to give a demo. Okay, so let's imagine there are 5 people. One person one person will be on stage and he or she says about herself or themselves, and next person followed by third, followed by fourth and fifth. It will be looking very awkward and the boss doesn't feel good at all, because everybody is saying their names where we already know about them, right? So choosing a right type of introduction depending upon the scenario and the context of the scenario is very important. Then only we can easily build up positive confidence about our further communication, which we do after this introduction. Okay, so far the introductions which I've discussed, so these are the examples. Hello everyone, my name is Naveen and I am the new English trainer, the first one. Okay, next is introducing a person to the group of people or to a certain people. Allow me to introduce Mr. Amanda Parker, our esteemed guest speaker to you all. Okay, and next is very formal introduction where we are introducing our friend to the another friend. Hi guys, this is my cousin Jake. Jake, meet my friends from college, right? And this is introducing a team now. This is our research and development team, Ram, Robert, and Rahim. Like, group introduction. Rather than telling everybody's name, we can simply say what team we are from and who were the team members. Okay. And the last is, dear colleagues, I'd like to introduce Mr. I forgot to add the salutation, Mr. James Carter, our new software engineer who will be joining our development team from next week. That means email introduction. Okay, so this is not only for the people who join the company, but also who leaves the company as well. Basically, the person who is, who will be leaving the office, the person will be writing an internal mail to the nearest ones, team leader, reporting manager, and the team colleagues. But if a company is so good, they will definitely write an email to all the employees who are leaving their office. And this will happen only with the people who are in, who are in highest designated seat, right? Whoever is the main pillar of the company or, key person in the company, then only they'll be writing about them. Okay. So this is all about today's session. And I wish everybody a happy learning, and do not forget to speak English whenever and wherever possible. All the time, keep yourself engaged wherever it is, at your home especially, because if you're having your kids, it is very easy for you to communicate in English, And if it is with your friends, general topics about your day, about your work and all, right? And also if anybody is still wants to improve or to have a habit of practicing at home, the simple suggestion: do not purchase or do not spend any single penny, but do go to internet. You will find articles, you will find ebooks, you will find stories, right? All simple things which are available around us. If you think properly, you will find lot of ways where you can have a habit of speaking in English or to read in English. Writing part, don't do it now. If you're already good at your English, yes, you're most welcome. But if you are like in baby steps, if you are in initial stages to practice English, I suggest you all for two components: speaking and reading. Speaking should be done whenever or wherever possible, and the reading when you're having a free time, rather than going to YouTube, Insta or Facebook or whatever the social platform. Better find a book. It helps you to have your tongue twisted, because once you come across any difficult word, you cannot pronounce it all of a sudden. So once you're having a free habit of speaking freely, then only you will try to pronounce it according to your comfort. Later you can figure out of the figure out the meaning and the usage of the new word. But speaking and reading are two first components that I personally suggest you all to have a practice from today. Okay, so thank you all for joining in today's session. Let us catch up in tomorrow's. Until then, have a very good night and have a scrumptious dinner. But once again, if you're stepping out of your house, do take care of yourself for sure. Okay, so don't get drenched unnecessarily. Carry your umbrellas, raincoats, or a waterproof attire, whatever is possible, and keep everything ready for the another day, right? So thank you all and have a very good night.
Yep. Thank you, Naveen.
Thank you,
Good night.
Thank you, Naveen. Thank you.
Thank you, Naveen.
Yep, thank you all.
Thank you, Naveen. Good night.
Take care.